Larry Williams, Raymond Clark, Preston Kynard, Troy Sullins, Theodore Vines, killed in action, O'Neill Coleman, Elwood Vines, George Lloyd, World War II Air Force, Leon Williams, Malcolm McCurry, killed in action, Elvis Crotts. Kenneth Woodruff, World War II, Navy. Calvin Fields, World War II, Navy. Robert Williams, World War II, Navy. Tommy Coleman, World War II, Marine Corps. Glenn Pace, World War II, Marine Corps. Korea, H.L. Crotts, Korea Army. Charles Bailey, Korea Army. Mac Bailey, Korea Army. Burl Prince, Korea Army. Frank McCoy, Korea Air Force. Charles Baker, Korea Navy. Glenn Baker, Korea Navy. Vietnam Army, Wayne Lloyd. Vietnam Army, Keith Lloyd. Vietnam Army, Jack Prince. Vietnam Army, Bobby Stoker. Vietnam Army, Gene Thornton. Vietnam Army, Bobby Sutherland. Vietnam Army, Wayne Bowen. Vietnam Army, Butch Overfield. Vietnam Army, Johnny Ivy. Vietnam Army, Johnny King, killed in action. Vietnam Air Force, Eddie Sullins. Vietnam Air Force, Dale Kynard. Vietnam Navy, Lester King. Others serving our country: Kenny Clark, Air Force. Ronnie Lewis, Air Force. Virgil Lancaster, Air Force. Ryan Lloyd, National Guards. Donald Overfield, Marine Corps. Bill Shelton, Army. Danny Hopkins, Army, Vietnam. Larry Hopkins, Army, Vietnam. Earl Hopkins, Army, World War II, Europe. Alan Hopkins, Army, World War II, World War I, France. John Stanfield, Army, Great Britain. Jerry Bradley. Judy Hogan, Navy. Roy Denton, Army Air Corps. Alan Stanfield, Army. Kenneth Clark, Air Force. H.L. Montgomery, Army. W.J. Mabry. Earl Edmund, Navy, World War II. Merle Edmund, Air Force. Eugene Kynard, Army. Taylor Switchell, Army. Chester Stanfield, Army. Lee Stanfield, Navy. Stegman Benny Jones, U.S. Navy, 1963. Roy Hessler, Army, Vietnam. Albert R. Jones, Army, National Guard. Noel Jones, U.S. Army, Vietnam and Germany. Denny L. Jones, Army, Germany, Korea, Army. Served in Germany and Korea. David Watson, Army, Iraq. Roy Sullins, Air Force. J.D. Roberts, Army, Vietnam. Pete Wilson, Air Force, World War II. Henry Hessler, Army, World War II. Shelby Decker, Navy. Lewis Roberts, Navy, Vietnam. Robert Williams, Navy. E.G. Howard, Army. Gus Ragsdale, Army. Lester King, Army, Vietnam. Dale Kynard. Odie Kynard, Air Force. Preston Kynard, Army. Coleman Ogden, Army. Jasper Dale, Army, National Guard. Jerry Nance, Army. Wayne Neely, Army. Brian Crotts, Army. Herman Dale, Army. Shannon Neely, Air Force. Carrie Cloud, Navy. Arlen Woodruff, Army. Warren Centeny, Army. Ronnie Dale, Army. Archie Cloud, Navy. Bill Browder, Army, Vietnam. Jonathan Neely, Air Force. Hunter Dale, National Guard. Max Jones, Army, Korea National Guard. Charles Ray, Army. Paul Williams, Army. L.G. Williams, Marines. Billy McElrath, Army. Brian Hurst, Army National Guard. Ann Johnson, Army. Ted Whaley, Army, World War II. Roger Birdsong, Army, National Guard. Billy Whaley, Army, Vietnam. Roger Moss, Army, National Guard. Claude Burris, Army. Vernon Broadway, Army. Bud Stahl, Army. Ralph Broadway, Navy. Van Sullins, Army, Iraq. Reuben G. Hodge, World War II. Johnny Russell, Army. Alvin Moore, Air Force. Dale Gallagly, Army National Guard. Gunnar Balch, Army National Guard. G.L. Balch, World War II. Billy Joe Tooley, Army. Timmy Ray Goldman, Army, Afghanistan. Kenneth Campbell, Navy. Glenn Campbell, Marines. Jimmy Ball, Air Force. James Stout, Army, World War II. Augie Vandino, Airborne, 82nd Division. Harold Butler, Army, World War II. Jimmy Crane, Marine. Laura Johnson, Air Force. Shannon Lee Mann, Air Force. Leslie Sutherland, Navy. Bobby Sutherland, Army. Charles Crane, Senior and Junior, U.S. Army. Michael Atkinson, Air Force. Kenton Tucker, Air Force. Keith Lord, Army. Jed Dale, Afghanistan, U.S. Army. Charles Bailey, Army. Arthur Mac Bailey, Airborne. Roger D. Kaysen, Army, Vietnam. I want to apologize for coughing. I don't know I guess I'm been out in the wind too much. This is the list that I have up to date as of right now. And I hope I done them justice. I may have mispronounced a name or two. That'll be due probably to my writing. And but anyway, we do appreciate these men who have served, and we don't need to forget them. And I know we don't. This community is very mindful of the veterans with the monument they have at the Blues Chapel and different events we have concerning these. This is the first year we've done this, and it was just a show concerning our soldiers and those past and present, that there is an appreciation. We need not to forget them. And remember to pray for their families. We have in our congregation of church people, we have those who are serving now and have in the past. We're always mindful of those, and their families as well are. Mention them quite often. I want to thank you for participating, and for every name that's up there, there should be some kind of congratulations for that, and it is an honor for sure to have your name put up there today. And the people may come by, and for every ornament they see, it just represents one of so many people that serve our country and have given up life. You heard me mention, and probably not all who did, were killed in action. I was here when I first put the soldiers out, and an older gentleman and his wife stopped, and he had came over and knelt down at the soldier boys there, and he was I came out of the building and walked up to him, and he had been crying, and he said, my boy didn't come home. Now, I don't know where he had served or when he had lost him, but it did mean something to him, and had several say that just to display this in their honors meant a great deal, and I know that it does. We appreciate doing it. This is what we did instead of building a float this year for the parade. And one of the things that our congregation are part of But anyway, thank you for coming out. Is there any special announcements we need to make? No. We have some music. I thought that we were supposed to play.